So, I've been on this cheese kick lately, and I was wondering, do you know the real
Yeah?
differences between Asiago and Parmesan?
Well, I mean, they're both Italian cheeses, right? But beyond that, I'm not too sure.
Exactly.
Right.
They're both authentic Italian hard cheeses, but they're actually quite different. Only 0.01% of the world's cheese is authentic Italian hard cheese. Can you believe that?
That's mind-blowing. So what sets Asiago and Parmesan apart?
Well, it starts with where they're from. Asiago comes from the Asiago Plateau in the Veneto region, while Parmesan, or Parmigiano Reggiano, hails from Emilia-Romagna.
Mm-hmm.
Their regions really shape their personalities.
So it's like terroir with wine?
Exactly. It's similar.
Yeah.
The local environment plays a huge role in the cheese's characteristics.
And they both have that protected designation of origin status, right?
Yes, it's a big deal. It means they must be made in specific areas using traditional methods. So you know you're
Right.
getting the real deal.
That's reassuring. So what about their textures and flavors?
Asiago's texture actually changes with age. Fresh Asiago is soft and creamy, perfect for melting.
Got it.
As it ages, it becomes harder and more crumbly.
So aged Asiago is more like Parmesan then?
Well, in texture, perhaps, but the flavors are different.
Okay.
Aged Asiago gets sharp and nutty, whereas Parmesan has a rich, nutty flavor with complex umami notes.
Umami notes? Like that savory depth?
Exactly. Parmesan develops these deep flavors during its long aging process, minimum of 12 months, often up to 36 months.
Wow. That's a long time. So how long is Asiago aged?
It varies. Fresh Asiago is aged just 20 to 40 days. Then there's Mezzano, aged 4 to 8 months, Vecchio aged 9 to 18 months, and Stravecchio aged over 15 months.
Interesting.
Each stage brings different flavors.
So the longer it's aged, the sharper it gets?
Exactly. Just like, it's like a story unfolding over time. The flavors
Right.
deepen and become more complex.
I love that analogy. So how does this affect their culinary uses?
Well, fresh Asiago melts beautifully, so it's great in sandwiches, sauces, and even pizza.
Mm-hmm.
Aged Asiago and Parmesan are perfect for grating over pasta, salads, or into soups to add that intense flavor.
I've definitely sprinkled Parmesan over my pasta more times than I can count.
Haven't we all? But
Yeah.
don't overlook aged Asiago. It can add a unique twist.
I'll have to try that. What about nutritional value? Are they similar?
They're both rich in protein and calcium, which is great.
Nice.
For example, a quarter cup of Asiago has about 110 calories, 10 grams of protein, and 310 milligrams of calcium.
That's impressive. But they're also high in fat and sodium, right?
Yeah, so it's best to enjoy them in moderation.
Agreed.
Everything in balance.
Speaking of balance, how do you store these cheeses properly?
Great question. For Asiago, wrapping it in wax or parchment paper and keeping it in the coolest part of the fridge is best.
Okay.
Fresh Asiago lasts 1 to 2 weeks, while aged can last several months.
And freezing is an option?
Yes, but it depends. Fresh Asiago can be frozen for 2 to 3 months, aged Asiago for 6 to 8 months.
Got it.
But freezing can affect the texture slightly.
That's good to know. So if I'm making a cheese board, which would you recommend?
I'd say include both. Fresh Asiago for a mild option, aged Asiago and Parmesan for a stronger flavor. It gives a nice variety.
Variety is the spice of life, after all.
Absolutely. Oh, and here's a fun fact. Did you know that only 0.01% of the world's cheese is authentic Italian hard cheese?
No
Makes them
way.
even more special.
That's incredible. So next time I'm at the store, I'll appreciate them even more.
Exactly. And remember, these cheeses are like, a taste of Italian history and tradition.
Well said. You've definitely convinced me to explore Asiago more.
That's the spirit. It's all
Yeah.
about expanding our culinary horizons.
You know, I might still prefer Parmesan on my pasta, though.
That's fair, but don't be afraid to experiment. You might
True.
discover a new favorite.
Challenge accepted.
That's what I like to hear. So,
Mhm.
ready for a cheese tasting session soon?
Absolutely, let's do it.
Fantastic. Well, I think we've covered a lot today.
Definitely.
Time to put our newfound knowledge to delicious use.
Couldn't agree more. Thanks for the cheesy chat.
Anytime. Now let's go find some
Yeah.
crackers.